Namaskar everyone, a very good morning to all of you. So we were doing this chapter number 12, forms of market microeconomics. We started with the forms of market. There are four types of market. There are four types of market, namely perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic, and oligopoly. These are the four types of market that we have over there. Then we started with the perfect competition. We started with perfect competition. Let us see what we have done and perfect competition so far. First of all, let us quickly recall what the market is. Market refers to all such systems or arrangements. Market refers to all such systems or arrangements that bring the buyers and sellers in contact with each other. A place which bring the buyers and the sellers in contact with each other is known as market. So it need not be a shopping complex always. All such arrangements which brings buyers and sellers in contact with each other is known as what? Is known as market. Is known as market. Then we had forms of market. Then we had forms of market. We had four types of market. We had four types of market: monopoly, monopolistic, perfect competition, and oligopoly. We started with perfect competition. We saw its definition last week. Perfect competition is a form of market. Perfect competition is a form of market where there is large number of buyers and sellers of a commodity. Where there is large number of buyers and sellers of commodity. First point is large number of buyers and sellers. Second point was homogeneous product. Third point was price is determined by forces of supply and demand. Price is determined by forces of supply and demand. This was the third point. And buyer or seller has no control over the price. This is what we did till last week. We'll be continuing now. If you guys have any problem over here, till here, please ask me right now. We are starting with perfect competition. And in perfect competition, we have some features. Large number of buyers and sellers. This is the first point. Large number of buyers and sellers. So first of all, in a perfect competition, there are large number of buyers and sellers. In perfect competition, there are large number of buyers and sellers over here. So that a firm is a price taker and not a price maker over here. A firm under the perfect competition is the price taker. What do you mean by price taker? Price taker means whatever the price is decided by the market forces, that is demand and supply, that price is to be accepted by the firm. There are large number of sellers. There are many sellers selling the product. We took an example of what? We took an example of petrol pumps last week, right? So in that case, there are large number of sellers and there are large number of buyers as well. This is the second point. There are large number of buyers. So there are large number of buyers as well in the perfect competition. So due to large number of buyers and large number of sellers, a firm in the perfect competition is always a price taker and not price maker. What do we mean by that? Price taker means whatever the price is determined by demand and supply. That price is to be taken by all the firms to sell their product. They cannot decide their own price to sell the product. They have to depend upon the price determined by market forces, that is demand and supply. The third point is homogeneous product. The product sold in perfect competition is identical to each other. The product sold in perfect competition is highly identical. So that makes the product homogeneous. So when you sell homogeneous product, there is no selling cost involved. That means there is no advertisement cost. There is no advertisement cost in perfect competition. There is no advertisement cost in perfect competition. The next point is perfect knowledge. The next point is perfect knowledge. Buyers and sellers have perfect knowledge of the market and the product. That means they are fully aware of the price prevailing in the market. That is, they are fully aware of the price prevailing in the market. For example, what is happening? For example, you go to a petrol pump to buy the petrol. Now you are already aware that the price of petrol is 87 rupees per liter. 87 rupees per liter. Now, since you have full knowledge about the market, if the petrol pump tries to sell you the product at 89 rupees per liter, then you can deny him and tell him that the product price is 87 per liter and not 89 per liter. This means that you have the perfect knowledge. The next point is free entry and exit of the firms. The free entry and exit of the firms. What does this mean? Let us suppose there are multiple industries, there are multiple firms, there are multiple firms in the market, Now, any firm can join anytime and any existing firm can leave anytime. For example, there are these many petrol pumps located. Now, any new petrol pump can enter this market at any point of time, and any existing petrol pump can switch off its market and leave the industry. This is what free entry and exit of firms mean. कोई भी नई firm can come anytime and कोई भी existing firm can leave at any time. Point number 6 is independent decision making and freedom from checks. So there is no agreement between the sellers regarding production, quantity, and price. All the firms are independently decision making. Right? They can make their own decisions. There is no restriction regarding the sale and purchase of commodity. There is no restriction regarding the sale and purchase of any commodity. All the firms and the buyers are free to make their own decisions. They are free to make their own decisions. This is what point number 6 means. Point number 7 means perfect mobility. Mobility means movement. So the factors of production are perfectly mobile under perfect competition. What are factors of production? Land, labor, capital, entrepreneur. These are the factors of production. Now these are perfectly mobile. इसका मतलब क्या होता है? Like, if a labor is working in this firm, he can anytime switch over to another firm. Because all the firms are homogeneous and selling the homogeneous product. He can switch from any firm to any other firm. If he is working at point number A, he can move to the firm B. No problem in that, and this means perfect mobility. And the last point is no extra transportation cost. There is no extra transportation cost involved in perfect competition market. There is no perfect competition. So because there are different sellers and all of them are selling homogeneous product, so no extra transport cost is incurred in order to save themselves from the competition. There is no extra transportation cost involved, because if extra transportation cost is involved, that will make your product comparatively expensive than the other firm's product, and this will lower your sale. That is why there is no extra transportation cost in perfect competition market. So we have completed these 8 points. I am quickly repeating these 8 points. There are large number of firms or sellers in the market. There are large number of buyers. The product which they sell in perfect competition is homogeneous, that is identical to each other. Buyers and sellers have the perfect knowledge of the product. That means they have pure, total, complete knowledge of the prices prevailing in the market. Firms are free to enter and exit the industry. Firms are free to enter and exit the industry at any point of time. They are having independent decision making and freedom from checks. The factors of production are perfectly mobile, and there is no extra transportation cost. I hope you have got this, or you have got these all the points, right? All these points I'm repeating once again. There are large number of firms or sellers. First point is there are large number of firms or sellers. There are large number of buyers. Then the product is homogeneous. Then the product is homogeneous, that is identical to each other. That is identical to each other. Fourth point is all the buyers and sellers are having the perfect knowledge of the market. There is free entry and exit of the firms. There is independent decision making and freedom from checks. There is perfect mobility in the market, and there is no extra transportation cost. And there is no extra transportation cost in the market. So this is what we have it here. This is what we have it here, and this is what we have done so far. Let us proceed. Now we are coming to three vital conclusions. Three vital conclusions of the perfect competition market. Of the perfect competition market, we are proceeding towards the conclusions of what we have done so far. The first point is a firm under the perfect competition is a price taker, not a price maker. This thing you need to keep in mind, guys. A firm under the perfect competition is a price taker, not a price maker. Now, what do you mean by price taker and price maker? Price taker means whatever price is determined by the market forces, that price has to be agreed by all the firms. For example, due to demand and forces, the petrol price is decided to be 87 per liter. The price is decided to be 87 per liter, right? So all the firms in the market have to agree upon this price. They cannot decide their own price. That means they cannot make their own price. Na isse kam, na hi isse zyada. They all have to agree upon this price. Now, what is this? How it is done? First of all, price is fixed by the forces of market demand and market supply. It is at this price that the firms in the industry sell their output. Now, how it is determined? This will be doing in chapter number 13, but I am giving you just a brief. For example, this is the demand curve. This is the demand curve. Over here we have quantity. Over here we have what? Quantity. And over here we have got price. So this is the demand curve, and this is the supply curve, and this is the supply curve. Right? This is supply and this is demand. So at the point where demand and supply intersect each other, at the point where demand and supply intersect each other, that price is determined as the equilibrium price, and उस price को ही हम लोग market price मानते हैं. उस price को ही हम लोग market price मानते हैं. This is how market price is determined in the perfect competition with the help of market forces, that is demand and supply. Now, what are the reasons why a firm under perfect competition is a price taker, not a price maker? This is what we are going to do. First of all, the first point is number of firms. First point is number of firms. There are large number of firms in the market. There are large number of firms in the market. So if one person is selling its product above the equilibrium price, so the buyers will be switching over to another firm. They won't be buying that product for that firm. They will be buying their product from the another firm. So there are large number of firms. The product is homogeneous. The product is homogeneous. That means it is exactly the same. So you cannot charge a price higher than the existing market price. A firm cannot charge a price higher than the existing market price. And the third point is unnecessarily loss due to lower price fixation. Up, you cannot charge a higher price, but in case you charge a lower price, so there will be unnecessary loss due to lower price fixation. For example, this mobile phone is being sold by all the firms, and the price of this mobile phone is 50,000. The price of this mobile phone is what? 50,000. All the firms are selling it at 50,000. All the firms are selling it at 50,000. If any firm sell this mobile phone at a price higher than 50,000, so nobody will be buying it from there, and they will be moving to somewhere else. And in case any firm sell this mobile phone at a price lower than 50,000, then it will cause unnecessary loss to their firm, to that firm, right? So it is not possible, not desirable for an individual to change the price of their product. Over here, it is neither possible nor desirable for an individual firm to change the market price of the product, right? So this is done. This firm is simply a price taker, not a price maker. Highlight this point in your books if you are having one. The firm is simply a price taker, not a price maker. I hope you have got this. What does we mean by this point? Moving on to the second point. Moving on to the second point. A firm demand curve of the firm under perfect competition is perfectly elastic. It is perfectly elastic. I hope you guys know what does perfectly elastic mean. Perfectly elastic means that the what does perfectly elastic mean? I'm asking you guys first. Fine. I will be asking you guys first. What does perfectly elastic demand curve mean? Answer me this. The demand curve of the firm under perfect competition is perfectly elastic. This is how the perfectly elastic demand curve looks like. This is how the perfectly elastic demand curve looks like. Now what is happening over here? You guys can see at any particular price you can sell unlimited quantity. At a particular price you can sell unlimited quantity. But if the price changes even a little bit, there is going to be infinite change in the demand. And this makes the firm demand curve a perfectly elastic demand curve in perfect competition. At a particular price P, you can sell any number of quantity, but if the price changes little bit, even a little bit, there is going to be a massive change in the demand. And this is why the firm's demand curve in the perfect competition is perfectly elastic. This was the second point, right? And the third point is this. A firm under perfect competition earns only normal profits in long run. A firm under perfect competition earns only normal profits in long run. So is there any student over here who can explain me this point? A firm under perfect competition earns only normal profits during the long run. During the long run, a firm earns only normal profits. Is there any student who can explain me this point? Now see, why a firm earns normal profit in the long run. Why the firm earns normal profit in the long run. This is what I'm telling you guys, right? This is what I'm telling you. Oh, come here, over here. This is what I'm telling you guys. See, for example, what is happening? What is happening? There are five firms, right? There are five firms in the market. There are five firms in the market, and they are earning 10,000, and collectively they are earning 10,000. So this 10,000 will be shared among whom? This 10,000 will be shared among whom? This five firms. This five firms. That means 2,000 each. That means 2,000 each, right? Now, if if they feel like they are earning many profit. For example, due to the bumper season, उनका जो profit है that increased from 10,000 to 20,000, from 10,000 to 16,000 for example. For example, 10,000 से उनका profit जो है वो 16,000 बढ़ गया है. Now there are outsiders who see that in this particular industry there is lot of profit. So what will they do? They will join this industry as well. So three more firms join the industry. And now the 16,000 profit will be divided among these eight firms, which will make it again 2,000 each. This will make it again 2,000 each, right? So if any industry or any firm earns higher profit or extra profits, so the new industries join in, and so that the profit is divided among all. Now for example, now instead of 10,000, they are earning, they are earning only and only 8,000, so they have started earning a little less. So what will happen out of this out of this firm out of these eight firms, four firms have left the market. Now how many are left? Only four are left. So they will be earning what 2,000 each again. So this is how a firm under the long run earns only normal profit. A firm under the long run earns only the normal profit. Why? Because if there are higher profits, the new industries join in, new firms join in, and if there are losses, so some of the existing firms leaves the market. And this is how a firm under the long run earns only normal profits. I hope you guys have got this point. So a firms under the perfect competition earns only normal profit during the long run, right? So this is how it is done. Extra normal profits are wiped out. Extra normal profits are wiped out, and extra normal profit losses, extra normal losses are disappeared. Extra normal profits are wiped out as the new firms join in, and during the losses, some firms leave the industry. So it will make what? Extra normal losses will disappear, right? So I think you guys have got this, and we are done with perfect competition. The topic perfect competition is done from my side, and that's it for today, guys. If you guys have any problem, you can ask me right now. Thank you so much.